Hello class, this is Demetrius Wilson again with Human Relations Strategies for Success, Stress, and Stress Management. We all have stress in our lives, as always, as I say, personal lives, scholastic lives, work lives, stress, it's everywhere. Driving down the freeway lives, stress is inevitable, and we have to learn how to deal with and manage stress. So, our learning objectives for this chapter are identify the main causes of stress, give examples of external and internal sources of stress. So, external, they come from the outside world, internal, they come from inside yourself. Compare and contrast type A and type B personality behaviors, right? So, some people are very impatient, some people are more laid back. We'll contrast the different personality types. Describe the physical effects of stress, and yes, there are physical effects, it's not just a mental thing. And explain the cost of stress in the workplace. How many people go out on stress leave, how many people have to call in sick because of stress, how many people are just very unproductive because of stress, all reasons that affect the workplace. So, stress is any reaction or response made by the body to a new situation. Well, it's a response made by the body to a new situation, and it could be a good response, and it could also be a bad response. So, and I've talked about this before in previous chapters, eustress is a positive or pleasant and desirable stress. So, I get the ball, I go to the baseline, I shoot the three for the game-winning jumper, that's eustress. Bam, hits bottom, all net, we win the game. That's eustress, good for you. Distress is negative stress. My boss keeps on me about this project and I don't know how I'm going to figure it out, and I just don't know what to do, and I'm going to get fired over this project. That's distress or negative stress. So a stressor is a situation or event that causes the body to react or causes stress, right? So the stressor could be traffic. The stressor could be the fact that you haven't exercised, or the stressor could be a certain situation at work. There are internal and there are also external factors, as there are with mostly everything that we go over and review in this entire textbook, in this entire course. So what are the causes of stress? And I'm sure you guys, as I said before, don't like list out all your causes of stress and put a bunch of people's names, even though they may be the cause of your stress. Let's get down to the root cause of the stress. Major life changes. So changes in life that increase daily hassles, leaving a person stressed and worn out, right? So with traffic, I used to work in Irvine, and although I handle stress pretty well, I could tell the difference when I started working in Buena Park, how much less stress I felt because of traffic. Daily hassles, daily annoyances that can cause stress in life. So just you don't realize how many things stress you, right? So I'll give you some examples, and this is a reality. So this morning, I've never done this before. I was brushing my teeth and broke my toothbrush. How that happened, I don't know. Bust my lip. The top part of toothbrush just broke. Then, as I'm trying to move the car because it's a street sweeping day, the point of the door pokes me like right in the shin. Now it didn't hurt that bad, but the unfortunate part is the point of the door went through my suit pants, and the hole is probably too small to get sewn up. So those are little stressors, but they're just daily hassles, and it happens, and it does stress you. So if those things happen, come to work, some other things happen, and all of a sudden I'm Katie Kaboom, and I blow up on somebody because I've got too much stress in my life. Chronic stressors, now that's where the traffic would fall in that category. Inescapable day-to-day situations or conditions that cause stress. More stressful than daily hassles, but less stressful than major life changes, right? So a major life change, of course, is stressful, but it's not as it is more stressful than those daily hassles. So like I said, traffic is a chronic stressor, work could be a chronic stressor. If you have a chronic stressor, you need to figure out a way to either eliminate that or get away from that chronic stressor, because it's going to affect you physically and mentally. So external stressors, so outside sources that cause pain and discomfort. So frustration, feeling people get when their goals are blocked, right? So I want to be promoted to a certain position, and somebody else gets the position, or they don't offer the position, then my goals are blocked. So I feel frustration. Inner conflict, pressure felt when forced to make a choice, right? I have to make a choice between my two friends. I got friend A and friend B. I like them both, but friend A and friend B just don't get along, so I do have to make a choice, and I now have inner conflict. Considered an external stressor because the source of the conflict comes from the outside, right? It comes from somewhere else, not inside yourself. So different types of inner conflict. Approach conflict occurs when torn between two desirable goals, right? Maybe I want to take this job because it gives me good flexibility and I can work from home, but maybe I want to take this job because it's going to pay me more money. Those are two desirable goals, and it's hard for me to make a decision and see which one's most important to me. Approach avoid conflict occurs when one is drawn towards and away from something at the same time, right? So can you be drawn towards and away from something at the same time? Yeah, definitely. We can use the same examples. Maybe it's a high paying job, but maybe there's a very, very long commute, right? So like I said, I was going out to Irvine and I said, hey, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that drive because of the amount of money that they were going to give me. Avoid conflict occurs when one is torn between two undesirable options, right? The worst of the worst, right? Either I can go to Alaska or I can go to Siberia. I don't want either one of those undesirable options, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and choose between the two. Probably will pick Alaska because it's closer. Internal stressors, they depend on individuals' perception or interpretation of a stressor, as well as personality factors. Perceptions differ because, right? So all of our, like I always say, perception is reality, but all of our perceptions will end up being different because we're not all the same. We're not all Stepford wives. We're not all twins, triplets, or quadruplets. Perceptions differ because of cognitive appraisal, thinking evaluation of an event or situation that varies from person to person and for an individual person from day to day. Irrational belief system, and this is a good one, substituting a realistic belief with one that is destructive, illogical, and largely false. I hear these irrational and see these irrational belief systems all the time. People just come up with these cockamamie ideas about what's going on in the workplace, and I have no clue where they got them from. And I typically just wait to hear things from upper management because I feel as if you do a good job, then they'll keep you, work with you, put you in a good situation to succeed. And catastrophize, uh, uh, expanding an irrational belief into an imagined disaster, right? So I had a manager, and she used to joke around about the fact that the director would always call her Chicken Little because she said she would see one thing wrong with the system and she'd run off and tell everybody, get everybody into a frenzy, and then it really wasn't even something that was truly a problem with the system. It could have been like one minor issue, or somebody what they call fat fingered it in and made a mistake there. So you got to be careful of having a Chicken Little syndrome and jumping up, running around saying that the sky is falling when it could just be a simple solution to a simple problem. So Ellis's ABC approach to stress. So you have an activating event, a belief, and consequences. We'll kind of skip over that. But type A and type B personality behavior. So as I always tell you guys, don't typecast yourself into one thing and say, oh, I'm type A, and the other person says, oh, I'm type B. Be who you are. Take the good things from both, and then morph into a bigger, better you. So, standard personality related behaviors that are associated with personality factors. So, type A personality is characterized by impatience. I gotta do it, gotta go. Hostility, perfectionism, and sense of time urgency. Well, I feel like I have a sense of urgency, but I don't feel like I am hostile. I feel like I can strive towards perfectionism, but and obviously I'll never get there. But I'm not impatient on certain things. I guess I am, but for the most part, not impatient. All right. And type B personality characterized by flexibility. I would say I'm definitely flexible. Ability to relax and delegate work. I'm good with that. And minimal sense of time urgency. Definitely don't have that. And that's one of the complaints I kind of have with a lot of people within the companies that I work for. That people don't have that sense of urgency, that killer instinct to say, hey, it's go time. Let's go get them. Let's do it. Let's get it done. A lot of people just kind of just fold up and quit on the inside. They don't walk out the door and box their stuff up and leave, quit, but they kind of just quit. A hardy personality, manage in spite of stressors and difficult problems, right? Stress every day. Today's, a day where we're full swing into our very busy season, and it's full of stressors. And I just have to learn how to, just say, some say USA, some say serenity now. Depends on what TV show you watch. But have something that you can just calm down, get it all out, manage those stressors, even if they're difficult problems. They have resilient personality, characterized by the ability to meet challenges, sense of commitment, and feelings of being in control of life. Right, so they have a good locus of control. I control my life. I know what I can do and what I need to do, and I'm not just saying, oh, the world has tossed me this can of beans, and that's all I can deal with. So, stages of general adaptation syndrome: alarm. So, confronted with stress, the body responds: increased heart rate, blood pressure, respiration, and stomach acid, tense muscles, and a sudden release of adrenaline. Right. So, this is what happens when your body gets alarmed. It's like when your alarm goes off in the morning, you go, ah, right, and you jump up. Your body gets alarmed too when it feels a lot of stress, especially if it's prolonged and chronic. Adaptation. So one adapts to the stressor and can usually return to normal. Now the nervous system is activated, and then the heart rate and blood pressure, respiration and muscles, then they start to calm down and they start to relax. Exhaustion, one ends up using all of the physical resources. The nervous system is still activated and stressor is still present. One can become vulnerable to other stressors, and other stressors are things that will happen with your health. You'll see that your immune system is directly connected to the amount of stress that you can receive and can deal with, and it can put you into the hospital. So you never want to get to the exhaustion stage. So this is Seeley's general adaptation syndrome. So resistance to stress, and then you have your shock, your counter shock. You have your resistance and your normal levels of resistance to stress and exhaustion, right? So that's kind of how it all plays out. You get these fly by night companies. Things are great, things go up, 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 and then they come down, 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 down. Stress in the immune system, as I had indicated before, functions of the immune system: recognizing foreign cells and attacking them, developing antibodies to recognize foreign invaders in the future, and sending white blood cells and other helper cells to locate to location of an injury or infection to speed the healing. And chronic illnesses and weaknesses weakens the immune system and increases the chances of falling sick. So when you're stressed out, you end up being sick, right? Because the stress is affecting your immune system. So more on stress in the immune system. Stress-related illnesses include asthma, ulcers, and colitis, skin disorders and allergies, strokes and heart attacks, right? Very, very serious things. People under stress act restless, impatient, competitive, and also pressure. So reducing workplace stress. So this one I want you to kind of read on your own, but some of the examples in there are: give clear assignments and information, and don't delegate too much or too little, and don't play favorites. Just a way to eliminate some of that undue stress that you may be under. Cost of stress in the workplace. Negative effects on employee health: increase of absenteeism, meaning you're not at work, and attrition, meaning that you just leave the company. It's too much. Other effects include accidents on the job, excessive eating, right? You got that person like, man, I just gotta have some snacks because I'm tired, because I'm depressed, because whatever, because I'm stressed out. Excessive eating or smoking. Anger outbursts, right? Can't control your anger, and alcohol/drug abuse. Causes of employee stress at work continue. So stress from management, right? I'm sure people, say all the time they go home and say, man, Demetrius really stresses me out. Having no say in decisions, and that's a big one. And I've made that mistake so many times where I went to an organization. I said, you know what? I know what to do. I know how to get this done right. I'm going to go ahead and handle it. I'm going to change it. I'm going to fix everything. And with those people not having any say in the decisions, they didn't have any buy-in, and they're just like, oh, this guy's going to come in and change things so much. And it wasn't the way to deal with the individuals. The way to deal with the individuals was definitely to get their input and then move on that. So continue to read this slide and the remaining slides. As always, have a good day and a great week. Continue to read your chapter, and hope you're enjoying the class.